Man, what's the worst part about dating a plus-sized woman? I always thought my girlfriend was telling the truth when she told me she loved me. But one day she looked me in the eyes and told me she needed to be with someone she was actually attracted to. A few weeks later I met the woman who was soon to be my future wife. It was practically love at first sight. We had that instant connection that I thought you could only see in Disney movies. I knew she was the one. She wasn't even surprised when I popped the question just 12 months into our relationship. Everyone told me to be careful, to not trust girls while you're in college. That stuff like this is why the divorce rate is so high. But I tuned it all out. Luckily, I was right. Our bedroom life somehow got even better after marriage as my wife only got more beautiful and more beautiful by the day. Then we were hit with the news that changed everything. After graduating, my darling came out as pregnant. Everyone was shocked as we had promised to hold off on putting a bun in the oven. But I knew from the list of baby names in her phone that my wife was thrilled to be submerged into motherhood. And I wanted nothing more than happiness for our future family. I thought it would be that way forever. Before I explain, I love my wife and there is no number on the weighing scale that could change that. But when she was pregnant she had gained a lot of weight. I could tell how much it was bothering her. I tried to assure her that she'd lose it all after our son popped out. Boy, was I wrong. Even after giving birth, her body was still plump and she was at least 50 pounds heavier than her previous figure. After doing some research, I tried to make her feel better by flirting with her more and planning romantic dates for us. I tried buying her favorite flowers almost every day. She still wouldn't budge. I even resorted to calling my female friends who advised me to use candles, rose petals, scents. I literally tried everything. It was clear that she wanted my hands anywhere but her body. I stopped trying and watched as our once amazing intimate wife dissolved in front of me. It only got worse from there. My once beautiful wife was now cowering away from mirrors and stopped brushing her hair just to avoid seeing how much of it was falling out. Her postpartum hormones caused the high school acne that we once laughed about to re-emerge. It wasn't that I now saw her as less attractive. Quite the opposite. Actually, not only was this woman my wife who I had almost instantly fallen in love with, she was also the bearer of my son who I loved more than anything. I just missed the passion for life that once existed in her eyes. Her laugh that used to fill every room with light. I tried not to mention anything to her about what we both knew was going on. This was a very sensitive time for her and I didn't want her to take anything the wrong way. But I only grew more and more worried. I watched her body hair grow longer than she's ever let it. She started exclusively wearing my clothes and I knew it was to hide her body. It broke my heart to see my wife be so ashamed of her appearance, especially when I still thought she was the most beautiful woman to ever exist. I started secretly tracking her self-care habits and saw she hadn't washed her hair in over 2 weeks. I knew it was time for me to intervene. I beat around the bush and went for a very vague approach, but I knew she could see the concern in my eyes. I told her all I wanted was for her to feel healthy and like herself again. I think she understood my intentions because she then opened up. She told me about how hollow she felt, how she couldn't understand how it had gotten this far. I held her and reminded her of how beautiful I have and always will believe her to be. From then on, I knew it was time to take charge as the man of the house. I tried learning new healthy recipes that I thought she would like and buying her new, street-style clothing. I helped out more with the baby and offered support in every way I could. None of it seemed to help. Whenever I leaned in to hold her face and kiss her in a way she used to love, she would turn away from me. I'd be lying if I said but it didn't hurt. I kept trying and giving extra support in the kitchen and baby department, but any closeness we had was falling through faster every day. We became more and more like roommates suffocating in our own worries, away from each other. At least one night a week I would wake up to the sound of her crying while looking at old photos of herself. But when I would try to comfort my wife, she would push me away and tell me to stop touching her. It hurt a lot. The next day she decided to hang out with her friend, saying that she needed a breather. After that, as if by magic, I noticed her post-pregnancy belly start to shrink. She told me that she had dropped 3 pounds in 1 week. The following week she dropped 5 pounds. I found it strange that one hangout could change so much, but I didn't want to question it. I was just happy to see my beautiful wife smile again. Me being me, I tracked her weight loss and saw that 3 months in, she had shed a substantial 30 pounds. We were both surprised when we saw that hair falling was no longer a solid part of our routine. She began to reattend her weekly nail and waxing appointments and slowly reinvested time into her other old beauty routines. It was insane what was going on and I was scared about her hiding something from me. It was almost out of nowhere that I suddenly saw her standing proudly and walking with confidence again. But I was maimed and just bursting with joy that she was taking care of herself again. Every day became so much brighter knowing that I could run my hand through her soft hair once more. I made sure to compliment her smile at least 5 times a day. I saw she had ordered a large package of new clothes for the gym. She went every single evening as if it was effortless, which inspired me to start as well. I watched as we became one of those slightly cringy gym couples. But I didn't care. Nothing made me happier than seeing my wife appreciate her own beauty again. One day I caught her waking up at 5 a.m. to go to the gym after not being a morning person for months on end. Curiosity got me. I joked and asked what her secret was and apparently she had started taking these Zombie Elite pills. She explained to me how her friend had tried everything to lose her baby weight, but that as soon as she started taking the capsules regularly, it fell right off. After that, I started using the pills too and we were working out and cooking healthy meals together. It fixed any distance that we had between us. It was obvious that we were both slimming down and my wife integrated a few more self-care routines that she found fun. Suddenly I found us doing skincare routines side by side every night. As she started accepting my advances, I was finally able to be as affectionate with her like I always wanted. I felt blessed to see the warmth in her eyes as she accepted every nice thing I said about her. Needless to say, our bedroom life was back and as strong as ever. I'd be lying if I said the improved build of my body hadn't boosted my own self-esteem. It still blows my mind that this transformation was only made possible by pills. We stayed up all night together just to make love and make each other laugh. And by the time our son was 2, my wife was in the best shape of her life. Before she had me wondering if my friends were right about us being doomed to contribute to the divorce statistic. But with this new change, I felt at peace knowing I never had to worry about that ever again.